All right, and we are back for Scrabble action. Matt Canik joined by Mina. We're bringing you round 4 of the Scrabble Players Championship from Las Vegas, Nevada. This game will feature David Eldar and Alec Sjoholm, easily two of the top players on the planet right now. And wow, I'm surprised they're already matched up in round 4. But we have a great game, some really solid Scrabble from both of these. I love the way both of these guys play as well. Looks like David to go first, drawing his tiles, and we're going to jump right into the action for y'all.
We were just saying that Alec recently won the North American Scrabble Championship on the TWL side, and now is already one of the top seeds on the Collins side. He is 4th seed here, and David Eldar is 2nd seed. David is traveling in. He's an Australian who I believe has been living in the United Kingdom.
And I believe comes from a strong poker background. And I know Alec and his dad, both big board gamers in general, not just Scrabble, but other board games, trivia as well, all kinds of stuff. So, players with diverse backgrounds don't just play Scrabble. And we'll see if that kind of leaks through in the strategy and the way they approach their games as well. So Eldar to go first. ADEEEFO is not how you'd like to start a game, but he'll maybe play out of this, maybe just exchange out of this as well. But play like fiat or foe or something. It's not, defo. AEE, not the best leave, but 16 points is a good amount. So
okay. Yeah, I think I would have done something like ODEA to keep one of the consonants, but. Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense to score.
But David Eldar is David Eldar for a reason.
Right. So I'm learning. Actually, that reminds me that I have an offer that he made to coach me on my Scrabbling that I keep forgetting to cash in on. I helped him with some personal issues a while back, and the payment was that he was going to give me some Scrabble coaching. Got to schedule that.
Yeah, that's an offer you got to take when it's on the table.
For sure.
I wish I had it as well. All right, so Alec to respond now to DEFO. I'll point out that DEFO does not take an S back hook, though it does have one back hook.
Defog.
Defog. So the G, a little bit more important now than typical. Alec's going to have an interesting decision. One thing that jumps out right now is he can just play NY and FY. That scores 23, holds BAHNT. He can also put the A down next to it for an additional 6 points, but then he's going to be holding 4 consonants. It looks like that is what he's going to do. Any, scoring 29. Leave could go one of 2 ways. It all depends on what he's about to pull out of the bag. And we have the luxury of knowing that, well, a lot fewer vowels are in the bag than he thinks, as Eldar's got a boatload of them. A, A, E, 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 X, U. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both hurting for their leaves right now.
So Eldar with not too many options as you expect without a well-balanced rack. He can play AXE and DAE for 30. He can play AUE in the same spot, holding and setting up the X for 9. Or he can exchange. And it looks like he is just going to cash the 30 now. That makes a ton of sense. AEEU, not super ideal, but 30 points is quite a bit. This board.
Plus, if you make that X setup, that's going to get blocked because there's so few places to play on this board.
Yeah, almost definitely going to get blocked. So I reasonable play there. Score 30 points now, and Alec probably quite excited to see that there is a vowel
to play through. Yeah,
from a certain exchange to a decent amount of points.
He's trying to act cash about what he has set up here.
Yeah, cash, CAZH, meaning casual, definitely, I think, like far and away the best option for him, and he's wasting no time to get that down. And Eldar into AEEU, this time picking up a lot of consonants, AEENSTU, so NST out of the bag. Looks like a bingo rack. Not quite there, though. And
still tearing through an R, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Close to a lot, but has nothing actually. So we'll see a couple different ways to approach this rack. You can try to score a good amount. Something like EAU and EH will do that for him. I could set up the S as well. I believe in Collins, EAU takes an S, right?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, it is good in Collins. So you could do that. You could just drop the U and play UH, keep things very tight and closed, and keep good bingo letters. But if you draw your bingo next turn, where is it going to go? Especially knowing Defo doesn't take an S.
Wait, was I wrong about EAU? I just typed EAU in the EAUS in the chat. Maybe I confused it with something.
EAUS is good.
Oh, it is good.
It says Defos is not.
It was just the bot wouldn't pull it up, so it made me doubt myself. Yeah, EAUS is good.
Yeah, the bot is getting inundated with requests right now. So EAU as an S setup holding ENST, or keeping a much more bingo prone just UH fish the one. You could kind of split the difference with HUE for 7 that opens the board up, or HUE for 6 rather, opens the board up for your bingo and holds quite well, but you're sacrificing quite a few points.
Yeah, that's too much to sacrifice.
In this situation, the bots, the Quackle, are going to say they love plays like UH for 12, but Alec is going to see how tight this board is and how aggressive that fish is, and not want to open anything up, not give you floaters, not give you hooks.
Human opponent is not going to fall for that.
So the mind games are, well, if you fish on a board with almost no bingo lines anyway, does that mean you're fishing holding a D to play duh? Or does that mean you're holding really, really well and you think you're going to be able to back hook DAE with an S? Or do you have a G and you're going to hit like an
G? Yeah, it's so just reply a G, yeah.
Or are you derping? So I don't know. It definitely a mind game if you just drop the U. Alec's got to have a lot to think about. I don't know what I would do here. David going to play Ute instead. So UTE sets up the S in a similar way as EAU would have done, and is less prone to big counter plays or overlapping plays. AENS, not a bad leave either. Yeah. So that's a good option for sure. For sure. I like it.
Yeah.
Alec with BBENRST. So again, kind of a close but no cigar. Ebb kind of stands out, just fish BB down from the E, and Ute. Ute kind of smells like an S setup. We know it was, but it kind of smells like one. You also have an S, but not too much to do with it. So just EBB, knock out.
EBB seems like a nice way to shut down that S possibility.
Or you can grab the spot. The board is still tight. Play EBBS for 32, hold NRT. That makes a lot of sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what I would do. Or overlap it, EBB on top of Ute. You're playing off your only vowel, holding NRST, but scoring significantly better than just the 13. These are tough. All of these make good sense. From the E on top of Ute, or put the S in the end and make Utes for either 13, 22, or 32 points. Turns like this are why some players are great and some are just good, because they're really hard to figure out what's best. And really volatile. Sometimes the fish hits and it was, oh, well, now it was the best play. And sometimes the fish misses and it wasn't.
Yeah. I guess the weakest of those.
I would do exactly what Alec is doing.
Yeah. What do you think he has set up here?
I would do exactly what he's doing. I'd stare at the board blankly for a very long time with no idea what to do. Wondering why I'm playing Scrabble, because this game is way too hard for me. And then I think I would score 32 and play my S.
I think clearly the weakest play would be to only play off the 2 Bs. It just scores too little. Yeah, it seems to make sense to play EBBS.
Especially given my opponent is just sort of fished and set up an S. Like, you can't have that. If you're going to draw something, you need to draw something better. So he's going to kind of split the difference, 22 points EBB. He's going to need to draw probably 2 vowels to hit a bingo next turn. 1 could be treble. 0 will be a lot of treble.
Right.
He will get 2 vowels, which is big. I am in RSTU. As Eldar into his AENS picks up another A and another E. and a T. So never want to double up both of the vowels you're holding, but it is what it is. It happened, and he's going to have to figure out now how to get out of this mess. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is another one of those plays that just kind of breaks the simulator, because the simulator wants you to fish aggressively all the time.
Yeah.
But real opponents block after you do something like drop an E or play EA or something.
Yeah, yeah.
The best play according to Static Quackle is EA and BEE for 7 points, holding AENST. On this board, AENST, not a superb leave, just because there's only one bingo line that's easy to hit that's on top of ET, and those are low-scoring bingos that give back a ton. So I really like what Eldar is thinking about. Score a little bit more here at the expense of your leave. Nab. He could have even cashed the S for additional points, but I think maybe better to hold back just because
S. DAE takes an S, right? So then you have words that start with S going down there.
So Nab comes down for 15, and Alec wasting no time to play his bingo of on trim, so that NRST does hit for him with the 2-vowel pickup, as it would with, I think, most 2-vowel pickups. Yeah. And Eldar, again, just doubling up what he already has. So AAEESTT this time, and that's tough. You're looking to play off AET. Anti through the N and untrims is one way to do that, but perhaps there's a better way to do it that makes the board in a more favorable shape for you to get your bingo down. Yeah, this is a tricky one as well.
Yeah. There's a few words that look that have this general pattern, like toys and things like that. It doesn't quite have.
Yeah. I think maybe the best thing to do here is actually to keep double T's. You don't like to keep double consonants too often, but in this case right here, AESTT, I feel like it actually bingos quite a bit anyway. Even if you triple the T, it's got to bingo quite a bit. So I think a play like AE or EA on top of untrims for 14.
Yeah.
It leaves US or UT available for you to bingo there. It retains the S to hit DAES. I think that shapes the board about the best way that you can in this situation. But definitely a frustrating sequence of turns for David Eldar, as he just, all of his letters have scored 1 point pretty much this entire game, aside from the D, F, and O, or D, F, and X that he cashed on the first 2 turns. He's going to play ante here, play off AET, holding AET and an S.
Okay.
We'll see if his bingo fits next turn. It's going to be tight.
Closes things up.
Bingo. Yeah.
I wonder why he took away that 3rd row bingo lane.
He didn't completely take it away. Well, he's going to pick up a blank. He's going to pick up both blanks. He'll do whatever he wants.
Okay.
Okay, big baller move.
All right, look.
Maybe he wanted to turn over the extra tile for one more shot at drawing a blank. Wow. Okay.
That worked
big
out
pull.
Well. Yeah.
Yep.
No worries now.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll do whatever he wants next turn.
Yeah.
And Alec, definitely got a good inference now. Eldar almost certainly sitting on an S and bingo prone stuff. You could almost tell that his leave is AEST after that. But what are you going to do with that knowledge?
Yeah.
How much can you block? How much should you block? He's going to knock out the E, score some points.
Yeah, you can't block everything. So I think that's reasonable how he responded.
Yeah. Frape, however you say that word, is what he's going to do, and that makes a ton of sense. And now Eldar gets to sit here, and the one drawback is you put that R right above a double line.
Yeah.
So that's maybe not the best idea, but you can't expect him to pick up a K and 2 blanks and get a 90 double. You think if you get doubled on, like it's going to be 78 because it's all going to be 1-pointers. And instead he's going to have like restacks or rackets or ruck seat, and they're all 90 pointers. So opening a double when you know your opponent's in range, maybe not the best idea, but hey, 78's not a killer bingo. 90's going to be rough. So different bingos available for David Eldar. Ruck seat, RUCKSEAT, retakers. restacks, and rackets with 2 T's. Racketts.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have guessed rackets could be spelled like that. Same meaning?
Yeah,
Let me check on the
yeah,
blog.
strange. He's also got significantly more underwhelming bingos. He can play gaskets and defogs, and he's got some fun 9s, beast-like and beastreaks from the BE.
Fine.
But you've got a double-double for 90. Maybe you try to figure out which one is most likely to draw 5 extra points. Retakers, to me, looks like hot garbage. So
Yes, yeah,
that's
that looks
the most
likelier.
likely to get 50 points.
Yep.
But or to get the extra 5, I mean. But Alec is very good at his words too, so I wouldn't expect to get 5 points out of him in this situation almost ever.
Yeah.
Retaker, one who takes again what has been taken. Very good.
The exception would be if he could find some like obscure Collins word, since Alex switched relatively recently. That would be the only situation in which he would be thinking about baiting a challenge, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Ruck Seat is Collins only, Rackets is Collins only, Retakers is NWL. So perhaps you try Rackets, but I think Alec is very solid on his words and will likely, just accept whatever as long as it's valid. It can be really tough to anagram with 2 blanks. And so, sometimes I would find like I'm blind in these situations as well. Like, surely there's something like with 2 blanks, it's really tough, So you just kind of pick a letter to make it sometimes and think from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can be tough to anagram on board 1. You get in your own head. So to anagram with 2 blanks on board 1 is extra hard.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder how long David has been in Las Vegas. I wonder how long it takes to get acclimated to the big time change, to the weather change. I wonder for a lot of these international players, how early do they come over, or how do they adjust their sleep schedules to deal with being in a very different time zone? And, you don't want to have a jet lag while you're playing Scrabble. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, because that would be a huge disadvantage.
If anybody in chat knows Eldar well and knows the answer to that, I'd love to know, just for my own curiosity, if nothing else.
I think he was the one who made the post just yesterday about how he forgot that the food portions in America were so huge. So I think he arrived relatively recently.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yes, the food portions are especially huge. And in Vegas, there are even even larger. Everything is bigger in Vegas, bigger and bolder and greasier and beerier.
Let's say he's considering rethanks the way he has his letters arranged, or retracts.
Yeah, retracts would be the valid one there. A production team will try to hear what these blanks are, look at what these blanks are when this gets played, because this looks like something that could have a phony come out, or could have some ambiguous blanks or something.
Yeah.
So this is what we assume is retracts.
Yeah,
the only valid word with this arrangement of the tiles. It's going to be a 90-point double-double for David Eldar. Put him ahead by 11. And you don't like to get double blanked, but if you are going to get double blanked, you want it to be exactly like this, where they are both in the same one play, as opposed to 2 separate bingos.
For sure.
So now I'd like to respond. He now has kind of the same sort of philosophical decision that's been the theme of this game. I got a bunch of 1-pointers, and I'm kind of in bingo range. How aggressive do I want to be? Do I want to keep the best bingo tiles and play off WO? And then if I do, how much do I want to open this board? Do I want to play WO and OF for 15? Do I want to play TWO for 14 and set up less? Do I want to play WO next to Defo for 10 and really open this board? Or do I want to try to score a little bit more at the expense of some bingo percentage next turn? So I don't know. He can play something like WAI or WAIT, OWI. All of those are going to score a little bit more. I think I'm most partial to WO and OF.
I like WO and OF, yeah, because of the TWO front.
Yeah. I think that's probably best. Just if I draw vowels, I'm going to be really annoyed. There are a lot of vowels, especially I's and O's unseen. And an I or an O into those are going to be pretty tough to bingo with. AEIIRT blank. I can't think of many sevens. AEIORT blank. I can think of a few, but not as many as I'd like. So perhaps not quite as strong a leave as it appears to be. It seems like with all the one-pointers that have been played this game too, we might see some weird pulls at the end of the game. Morris Greenberg pointing out in chat while we talk about players flying in from other time zones, one of the most underrated parts of Nigel Richards is that he has extremely good habits in advance of tourneys. He flies in a week before to adjust to time zones. He packs his own lunches. He bikes everywhere. I know 1 year before the Buffalo Nationals, he flew into Toronto and biked with Jackson Smiley and Josh Sokol from Toronto to Buffalo. Just to get his head going. I know the Nationals were in Dallas in July, and it was extremely hot, about 110 Fahrenheit, 45 or so Celsius, 43. And he still biked like several miles to the hotel venue every day in the heat, just to keep his body and mind active. So, yeah, always interesting to see how people take care of themselves or don't at tournaments, what substances they do or don't participate in. What kind of food they do or don't eat, how long they're at the blackjack table. I know Chris Cree famously won like 50 grand at a blackjack table, staying up super late during a tournament. But he said he'd rather won the few $1,000 prize at the tournament instead of the 50,000 in blackjack because the prestige meant more to him. That'll be very interesting in a venue like Vegas. That is so fun.
Yeah.
What are players doing
so
after
many distractions. Yeah.
Yeah. Put me in Fort Wayne, okay, that's one thing. I won't be super distracted. But put me in Vegas. Oh boy.
Yeah, I remember choosing not to go to the Fort Wayne Nationals just because I was like, I'm not spending a precious week of vacation on going in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Like,
right.
Maybe I'm not obsessed enough with Scrabble, and yeah.
Get me a couple 12 packs, a few of my friends, and a couple bags of tiles. We're going to have a good time anywhere we are. But the problem was in Fort Wayne, apparently you just can't sell any alcohol on Sunday anywhere in the state of Indiana. So we went out trying to pick up a 12 pack or two on Sunday, and it was impossible and illegal. And that was not fun.
I guess it's typically at the end of one Nationals that they announce where the next one is, right?
Yeah. We're still awaiting that news. Typically, it's announced right around this time. Where's the next national? So, typically they kind of alternate fun place, cheaper place, fun place, cheaper place. So, and I heard it was going to be
that
Midwest.
Okay. So, yeah, I was about to say that there was supposed to be this 4-region rotation. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they had divided the U.S. into West, Midwest, South, and Northeast. And for some time, there was an even rotation between them. I don't know if that's still happening with the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, I'd heard rumors that Northwest is rumored. So like Louisville, Fort Wayne again, Dayton, Michigan. I don't know. This is above my pay grade, but there are some places up there that I'd like to go to, and some other places that I'd be a little less excited to go to. But again, give me my friends, give me some beers. We'll have a good time. No matter what. I love Scrabble nerds. Let's get back to the action. So Alec is splitting the difference. I like this WAI. I think she saw exactly what I saw, where AEIRT, maybe not such a good leave in this board in this circumstances. So plays a little bit longer, keeps just 2 vowels. WAI makes quite a bit of sense. and Eldar, CDHIIOB. Wow. Man. So he's not going to be able to work his way out. He can go the full Roman numeral approach, play DOH, and hold CIIV. That's 29 points on top of WAI. Iotic plays alongside Retrax, holding HV for 26. Like lots of weird stuff. Nothing is going to fully work him out of this bad rack. I guess DIVI next to Defo, forming DO. It's only 12, but it holds CHO. So if you like your carbohydrates, you can hold on to that. Sorry, chemistry joke. I'll be here all day. He's got high COVID on his rack. I won't make any jokes there.
By COVID would be more appropriate.
Yeah, that would be my preference. I've seen enough of it already. Yeah. How many points do I want to score? How many letters do I want to play? He's going to play Diva here, which is quite interesting.
Yeah,
but 12 points, CHIO, pulling into 5 more I's, 6 more O's. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
I don't know that many players would have made that play.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying. I'm very confused. I'm not going to lie. Someone in chat tell me why he did that, because I don't get it.
Just what Alec was looking for as well.
Yeah, and that's going to give back Orienter. Which
David pulled an I and an O, just like you predicted there.
IGG, the pull, yuck. So he gives Alec exactly the floater Alec needed on kind of a strange looking play. I mean, Iotic would have done the same thing. DOH would have just held weird stuff. So I don't know what the right move was there, but Diva looks really weird.
Diva looks strange, yeah.
Again, not trying to slander David Eldar. I'm sure he had a great reason for doing that. His rating is significantly higher than mine for a lot of reasons, but that looks really strange. And now he's got more hot garbage to deal with.
In addition to being quite a bit lower in time than Alec.
WICH plays down from the W. Yeah, there it goes. It's 33 points. Ginkgo is another really cool play through the disconnected NK for 16, holding CHI. But yeah, that CHIO leave, I guess, it scores well. CH is great for scoring and good for bingoing, but I don't know. That IGG pull definitely killed him. But 33 points is not bad. It keeps him in striking range, 227 to 258, as Alec gets another turn. AEIIPLW is his rack. He'll be able to score okay here. Overlapping plays next to Orienter makes some sense. Like WEL scores 28. Don't really want to open the board like that on a tight one. Don't really want to open triple with a lead, but he can also play WIEL through the E in Orienter. That's only 22, but AELP, decent and balanced.
Yeah.
So you don't need a balanced leave on a dead board.
No.
But it doesn't open.
It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Battle. You just don't want to open on this board.
True. Yeah, I like WIEL.
Yeah, WIEL. I just don't see anything else that makes sense given the circumstances and the situation. If you really want to score points, you can, but both blanks are out. The odds of getting bingoed on are super high.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you've got to keep it close. I guess one huge concern is all 3 Gs are still out. Defo was played on turn 1. We mentioned the G hook.
Yeah.
Nobody's drawn a G yet. So while this board appears more closed, like how has a G not been played? Now Eldar does have 2 on his rack. He doesn't have a great way to play him up. Yeah, GIGOT goes there. Doesn't open as well as you'd like. Doesn't score as well as you'd like. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, we're running out of options on a board that is quite tight, especially by CSW standards.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if Alec will play PLEW for 24 or WIEL for 22. I think it's going to be one of those two, but do you hold AEPL, 2 vowels, 2 consonants, or do you hold AEIL, 3 vowels, 1 consonant, but, you know, in bingo range? There's only 1 unseen A, only 3 unseen E's left. So you're inclined to hold on to those, but 4 I's, 6 O's unseen. And crucially, the Q and 2 U's on a board that is kind of yucky for Q's. Lots to think
evaluating the leaves in the chat and they're.
Yeah, it looks like AELP. I think the P actually goes reasonably well with vowels. The L also goes well. So wheel, I think, is the best play here. I like this play.
There it comes. Yeah.
We'll see what kind of vowels or any vowels he picks up, but I think this is the best way to stay. You keep the board tight, stay in bingo range. Yep. You know, just keep good letters.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see now if Eldar is going to open the board, cashing in his G's. GIGOT like stands out as a really nice solid play. He has a really cool play that's tough to see, but also deserves a lot of merit, and that's Mendigo, MENTIGO, making AXED. That scores 25 and retains a G for the D fog spot. Maybe a little more time and he would have seen it, considered it, but GIGOT out of this rack looks so obviously correct, not knowing that there's a sneaky second play available as well. So missed opportunity probably. I think had I seen it, I certainly would have preferred Mendigo given the score, but if you don't see it, you don't see it. And DM could be a very good leave. He'll need an S. Yeah, an S is going to be huge for Eldar, and he's not anywhere close to it. JUVD, yuck, yuck, yuck. And then into Alec's poll, he did just about as bad as he could, picking up 3 more vowels in AELP. So AEEELOP now on his rack. Alec has 3 of the last 4 E's in the game, only 1 A and 1 E left in the bag. So while this looks bad and yucky, when there's no E's left, it's tough for your opponent to bingo. So Weep comes down really quickly. It scores quite well. And I'm not super worried about bingos from the P in the absence of good letters left in the bag.
Right, exactly.
EDJMNUV for Eldar. He hasn't had a good balanced rack in quite some time now. The same spot as Mendigo looks best for him. Vend or Vendu play in that spot to score quite well. 2021. He could give a shout out to World Cup champion Ben Schoenbrunn by playing Benj, BENJ, down from the BE, but DDMUV is likely not going anywhere for him. So yeah, he does see the spot this time. Vend is going to go down, and that's a very good play. Lots of vowels for him to pull. The Q is still unseen as well, and there are some I's, like a QI play is going to probably stay available, but it's going to be almost a wasted turn otherwise dumping that. I'm not seeing a good way to cash it in the absence of a U. Now Alec, AELLORR, needs to look at the unseen pool and figure out what the biggest threats to him winning the game are. I'll drop it in chat. I think we'll get it up on the screen shortly.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get on the screen for sure.
So there's the unseen pool: ADEG, IIIJ, LMNN, OOOO, QSSUUY. So not much that I'm worried about in terms of
quite ugly,
possible, but I think the bigger threat is the J or Q plays, something through the T in GIGOT, quite, quote, you know, something like that is almost a bigger concern to me at this point. So I want to make that spot go away, but I want to be cognizant that there are 2 S's out as well.
2 S's, jigots, orienters.
Yeah, so orienters, GIGOT S is available. So what do you do? You can consider playing Oral underneath GIGOT, making GOOR and TA, but Oral, I believe, takes a back
Oral
S.
should take an S, like your oral exams, yeah.
Yeah, it does take a back S. So you're just setting up an S while knocking out one S spot. You're opening another and giving spots for crazy overlaps.
Yeah, right.
I don't see a good way with this rack for Alec to do much at all about that spot.
Right.
And without the ability to do much about that spot, maybe you just don't do anything and score, but then there's no good way for him to score either.
Right, where there's always 1 point. Yeah, I'm looking around the board for scoring spots, but it's hard right now.
Maybe just a silly play from the P, that knocks out bingos from the P. It knocks out orienters both at the same time. I wonder if something like that makes some sense. Yeah, there you go. So Pallor,
Okay.
Pallor, kind of does that. It opens up a bingo line for overlaps, but crucially, it holds that E. It knocks out the 90 pointers. And yeah, I think that makes some sense.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
DIJMNOU for David Eldar. He would love a bingo to get back into this game, but he doesn't necessarily need one. Junto plays. Junto comes down already. 40 points, and he's right back in this game. He's only down 5 now after that play. It does give back huge counters, but any counter from the J by Alec is going to give floaters to David.
Right.
So, David doing a good job fighting back. Hasn't opened the board super well, but hasn't needed to, as that J play is huge. And Alec with an interesting turn for sure here. AEOORSU now.
Yeah.
So there are 13 unseen tiles to Alec now, and he's definitely going to take some time, look through his tracking, figure out the biggest threats. JOUR looks so obviously correct, but you want to make sure you're not giving anything crazy. Unseen looks pretty rough to him.
Right.
Probably not seeing too much. He knows he has an S too. So I guess he's going to play it pretty quickly. I think I would have spent a little bit more time on that.
Yeah, I think I would have spent more time there too.
But maybe he wants to put some time pressure on Eldar as well. Ooh, yeah, a big concern that he played off the U and picked up the Q as well. So, a quick play for equity, but given the other considerations in this game, maybe not the best thing to do. We can go back and post-mortem that later, or you can, or somebody can write a report on it. I don't have the time. I have to keep doing my job and talking about the Scrabble.
Right.
That we've got a 38-point game now. David Eldar 311, Alec 349. 3 tiles left in the bag for Eldar, and several different bingo lines now. On top of Pallor, Juntos is still available, bingoing through the U or R and Jur as well. And sneakily up on top, there's even that A. So he's got to look at what's unseen, figure out what he's hoping to draw. And yeah, I'm not sure. Whoa, Yaqona, Yaqona, is that real?
That's fancy.
Nice. Yeah, that seems like the work that you study and then never ever see even once in your life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one on a board. That's cute for sure.
Wow. Okay, so that's on top, but it doesn't block anything. But it's a way for Alec to play off the Q. Eldar, I expect to see him play 1 or 2 tiles here. Figure out the best way for him to have bingo draws if he gets what he needs out of the bag. I don't know if you need to pray that you draw an S here, but it's going to be hard to draw bingos without it. That Junto spot is going to be big. So, I mean, the way you approach this turn, probably look at fishing an I. What do I draw if I fish an I? I see Mid-Soul, Melodia, but, I'm going to need a bingo in both spots probably. If I don't fish an I, maybe I play 2 tiles. And if I do that, I'm not sure what to do. This is tough. This is really tough, and I expect to see David spend most of his time because beyond this play, either he draws a bingo and he plays it, or he doesn't draw a bingo and he just kind of rolls over and loses probably. So,
Yeah.
You take a shot, you figure out the best way to win this game. You spend almost the entire rest of your clock, leave yourself maybe 20 or 30 seconds at most, and go big or go home, try to bingo, or, at least go down swinging. Every letter you play is an additional point at the Q, or additional draw at the Q, and the Y, maybe, if Alec hasn't pulled it. And those are going to be devastating to your chances of bingoing. It might be possible to bingo with the Y still, something like moodily or something, but man. Looks like he's setting up MOI on his rack. That would empty the bag, and it's something you can't really do because your opponent has perfect knowledge and just blocks your best play. But MOI doesn't take an S, it does take an L, so you would set that up. Yeah, this is a really challenging turn.
Where would MOI go?
Next to Junto, I think. OM.
Making OM,
and MOI.
Okay.
It'd be really tough for Alec to block everything at once.
Right.
But a play like, QIS does almost all of it. Yeah, Eldar needs a bingo to win here. I guess he's going to end up probably playing 2 tiles. And I can't see a way for him to do that to open additional lines that are lucrative. He might be able to do like SO and OI and set up that L. I don't know. This is such a hard turn.
Yeah, this is a very hard turn.
It'd also be interesting, if he does draw a bingo, where does it play? What is a more likely lane for him to hit 2? Is it through the floating U and R, or is it on top of Pallor? So he's going to play off his M. Hold DEILO. And we know he's not going to pick up the Q or the Y. He's going to draw an S and a G. So Goldies is valid and plays in 2 different spots. I don't see anything through the U or the R. So Alec now, kind of a dilemma on his hand. He's got a Q, and he can't play the Q and block the bingo lines.
Right.
There's one in the bag. Unseen to him now is going to be what, Goldies plus the... I'm trying to get the... Yeah, Goldies plus an I.
Goldies plus an I. Oh, so yeah, this is painful. Yeah, how can you play the Q and block? You can't.
Unseen, the bingo threats to him, doilies and goldies. So if an if the G is in the bag or one of the 2 I's is in the bag, there are bingos with both juntos and pallors that play. And then through the R, nothing that he has to be worried about. Through the... Oh, did I get this right? Doilies, GR. Yeah, nothing through the R. Oogled is only a 7. So yeah, nothing through the R or the U that he needs to be concerned about at all. There's nothing that plays through RU. So if he can block the hooks on, or the line at Pallor and the Juntos line, there's nothing else that can beat him unless I'm missing something up top with the A. Goliast almost fits, Goliased, but not quite. So yeah, I think he just needs to block the Juntos and Pallor's lines and make sure he can play the Q in a way that scores enough to win an out in 2 situation. I mean, the QI spot is available, so, can he set up a way... an out in 2 would be awesome if you can guarantee an out in 2 while blocking those spots. But I don't think that's going to be possible, just given the shape of the board.
So the Kona situation.
If you play something like SER holding Yakona, SER down to the R in Paler, then I guess that would do it. I mean, Yakona will get blocked, but you'll still have QUAY.
Right.
You can't just play Yakona right now with Goldies
Yeah,
or
it's
Boiler
too hard.
unseen.
Right. So you pretty much can't guarantee an out and two here.
You can't guarantee one. No, not that I see. Yeah, so I think this is Alec's game. I sincerely doubt he ends up botching this, but he's going to have to find his best way to block Bingo's on top of Paler, Bingo's hooking Junto, and make sure he can play off the queue and score enough. Scoring shouldn't be an issue. I'm not seeing any huge threats that Eldar could hit as long as the Junto spot goes away. But then Alec also has the extra sure, right? I can type into my anagrammer. Oh no.
Oh no, why did he do that?
Oh no.
What? Why did he do that? I don't
Why
understand.
did he do that?
Why did he do that? There's obviously bingos that Eldar could have. What? What? What happened? I don't understand. Oh no.
Maybe he mistracked?
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
Oh my god, I'm so
Alec has just blown this game.
Yeah, he just threw the game in the trash.
Yeah. Wow.
What?
Wow. I don't have words for what we just saw, folks. That was very confusing. And I guess maybe sometimes you just get so excited to play Yakona that you forget to block your opponent's bingos?
That can't be it. He didn't have Yakona lined up that whole time.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is a mistrack.
Yeah.
I don't know what else this could have been, but Goldies and Junto is going to come down. David is going to win this game with an out bingo, and I'm going to try to read Alec's face. He's a very stoic player, but what? What? Alec just sets down his tiles. He doesn't seem confused or shocked, showing no emotion.
Right.
I'm very confused.
Oh.
Well, there you have it, folks.
David looks confused. David looks confused. I look at David. He's got plenty of expression there. He's shaking his head like, what?
That's not a mistake you expect almost 2,100 player and an NWL national champion to make. I don't have words. I'm confused. I think the chat's pretty confused as well. It's got to be a mistrack or something.
Never know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
probably never know. I mean, it would be really tactless to ask Alec what happened to this.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he likes to post about his games and talk about Scrabble a lot, so maybe he'll say something, but I'm not going to be the one to ask.
Right, exactly.
Somebody with less tact than me run through the play. Why didn't you block the bingo? Is
there anyone who's known for less tact? We can find out.
There are several players in Scrabble who would probably do it, but I don't want to be that guy.
No, nobody does.
Wow. Okay. Well. That was game 4. Alec is going to have a lot of time to stew on this over the lunch.
Yeah, lunch. He can recover his composure over lunch.
Yeah, and have some delicious food in Las Vegas. Man, I am having serious FOMO for not being there right now. It's not even FOMO. It's not fear. It's just FOMO, sadness of missing out.
Yeah.
But, student loans are a beast, so we're at home. We're going to let these players get out of here. We're going to let y'all stretch your legs. If you've been sitting in front of the TV or computer for 4.5 hours this morning,
get your own food.
Your diehard patronage. please go stretch your legs. We don't need a DVT or anything like that.
I love all the medical references.
With more Scrabble at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern time. That is when rounds 5, 6, and 7 will be broadcast. All of those will be NWL broadcast this afternoon. We'll do a little bit more Collins tomorrow, a little bit more NWL tomorrow. And I believe, again, the plans are NWL all of the next 2 days and for the finals. Signing off for right now, I'm Matt Canik.